Welcome back to the Amethyst Center, a sanctuary for healing with the spirit of nature. And today we're going to talk about how you can use dowsing to diagnose what's going on with a person physically. So this will be particularly apt for people who are energy workers or massage therapists and any kind of alternative healing therapist, perhaps even for herbs, because in many of the Native American type systems, there are certain herbs that match each chakra or areas of your body, and a weakness in any one area will propagate the diseases that are associated with that area. So it will give you some idea of the parameters of the herbs that you might use, because certain herbs affect certain organ systems. And then you can even use dowsing to find out which one is the very best for what you've got out of 25 or 30 different herbs that might help your digestive system. There may only be 2 or 3 that works for you, and you can get a yes or no answer, and even a number like 1 to 10 answer for what is good for a certain ailment. So there's all kinds of really cool ways to use dowsing, and I will cross-check sometimes with muscle testing, and we'll cover that later. So I have a little setup made up of little medicine bags from the Gateway Healing System, which we have altars all around the barn, which is their different chakra system from the East Indian one, but it's also different levels of ascension. So behind me you can see the light kind of flashing, and that's the one for the third eye. And I made art to illustrate this system that was channeled by No Eyes, who was a Chippewa medicine woman. And Mary Summerrain wrote books from her teachings. She was one of No Eyes' apprentices. And so the Gateway Healing System is in a book called Earthways. So if you're interested in this system, then buy that book and start studying and using it. It was really a groundbreaking book in so many ways, and I've been working with this system for like 35 years. So I made up little medicine bags. Here's the one for the root, and you can't see it, but it has a snake drawing, petroglyph drawing like I do, with a lot of the other symbols in it relating to the root chakra. And it has the stone, and it has the metal and the herb, and has a little bit of snake skin in it. So each one of those holds a frequency, and the frequency is what heals. So now we're going to pretend this is a certain person. Okay, so we're going to go up the little line of medicine bags, and they're lined up with the chakra system here. The rattlesnake is for the root chakra, and the stone in it is a rose quartz and a garnet, and it also has the herbs and the metals and a little bit of rattlesnake skin, and it has some cotton that has one of these little vials here of aromatherapies for the root chakra, which was made by Jacqueline Dorman, and the recipe for the aromatherapies was given to her by the fairy folks. Then the horse is the animal for the sacral chakra, the area of will and confidence and creativity. So it has some horsehair in it, and citrine is the particular stone in there, and it has the aroma. Then her system doesn't have the solar plexus, but I added the solar plexus in because there's a lot of people that have issues relating to the solar plexus, people who are very empathic people. And so that one, you can see it a little bit better, is a hawk. Hawk is the messenger bird. And so the solar plexus is actually a information center where we receive feelings and then decode that into information. It's not like the other chakras that bring in energy and send the energy around your system. And no eye system, it's like our message system, and the hawk is the messenger. Okay, so the next one up is the turtle. I don't know if you can see that. And the turtle is the heart. The drumbeat is the heart, and it has a adventuring in it. Um, so heart related to emotional issues and the diseases that come from emotional issues like heart problems and such. Okay, so the next one up is blue, and well, it's got something in front of it. So it's the buffalo. In Nashville, I used to have people come to me to help them sing better, and we used to imagine a blue buffalo, well, a buffalo in a blue tube, which was their throat, and he was butting his head up against the people's throats to open their throats up, and then they could sing louder and better and hit the notes. Um, one of the ones behind me, this is the third eye. See, it's got the owl on it, and the owl is this is for intuitive wisdom. Her system is different too, in that it also has the wolf, which is the base of the brain in the back. So you have to have the pineal and the pituitary, and so that's the system. And then finally, I added this, which is the eagle, and this is for connecting to your spirit guides and your angels, because the eagle flies the highest. So we're going to pretend that we're going to go right here to this system, Jacqueline Dorman's system, and these have copper coils underneath it, so I can work on a bunch of people, and it doesn't carry the energy from one to another. So do let's we're going to work on a pretend person, but they're not really pretend. I'll know who they are, and you won't know who they are. So I'm just going to ask, okay, we're just going to use the letter D, and we're going to start down here at the root. Okay, so if the pendulum goes around, it means that chakra is open and it's working. Okay, so I'm just kind of clearing the energy in between. Okay, so this is the sacral for D, and that's okay. It's going around. Okay, this is the solar plexus. Okay, the solar plexus is closed. It's not going around in the circle. That means we need to do some healing and some clearing out of the solar plexus. So she's a very highly empathic person, and she works around a lot of people, and has a big family that always call on her to do things, so that's not surprising. Okay. So the heart is working good, very open. You can also tell how open something is by how big the circle is and how fast it goes. So this is the throat, so it's fine. And here's the third eye and the base of brain, the pituitary and the pineal. and that's fine. And then the crown, and that's fine too. So you can do the same thing by dowsing when you've got someone laying on a massage table directly over the chakras. But I use this system distantly. Great. So when I'm contracted to do distant healing on somebody, this is basically what I do, how everything is set up. But I talk on the phone and I give you a play-by-play as we go, so you know what's going on. And I've gotten so I can even do soul retrieval distantly and kind of travel from here to there. So I'm going to take the solar plexus one out and put it on the angel, which is the stand-in for D. So we're going to do a clearing here. And it's interesting because she's going to come over tomorrow, so we'll know whether it worked or not. Okay, so what did we talk about before? About clearing. So I'm going to douse counterclockwise, and it doesn't necessarily have to be over it. So I'm just going to ask all my healing helpers, all the spirit doctors, the angels and the white light masters and the spirit of nature and even the Sasquatch Healing Council, all of my healing helpers, to clear any non-beneficial energy that is in her solar plexus. Okay, and so what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, the little people, like leprechaun kind of little people, we have 3 clans of them here. And there's 3 medicine men, and they have apprentices, and they like to help in, especially like doing psychic surgery. So they've kind of jumped in, and they're pulling this heavy energy that Dee has empathed out. So it's like they've got little buckets and little shovels, like at the beach, you know, how you dig up the sand, and they're digging all of this sludge kind of thing. The inside of that chakra is supposed to be lemon yellow, but it looks kind of like brownish yellow, mustardy color. Okay, so they're pulling out all this non-beneficial energy, and some of it can be from other lifetimes even. And they're pulling that out and pulling that out and pulling that out. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, and it's beginning to lighten up. So I'm going to add a little bit of the solar plexus aromatherapy. To me, because I'm an empath, and since we're all connected and we're all related, healing that part of me also helps in healing her. And I'm going to put it on a little bag, and I'm going to put it on the little angel that's a stand-in for D. And smell it. It smells kind of lemony. Okay. So what we want to do right now, we're going to go clockwise. What we want to do is fill that chakra up with the maximum healthy frequency and energy for the solar plexus. Okay, yeah. So that aromatherapy and the healing here from the little medicine bag is going in. Okay, great. So there's more stuff to do. The healing the solar plexus and clearing the solar plexus is a very long kind of technique within itself that we're going to cover separately, but this is just a way to get started with it. So let's just test now. If you want to lean back down here to the little medicine. Oh, so okay, so we're going to see what's going on with the solar plexus. Okay, so now at least it's open and it's going around. It's not like totally in a circle, but it's better. Yeah, it's getting better. There's still more to do because there's a number of steps that you have to go through to work with solar plexus. It's a different sort of system. You have to clear the energy lines between the person and people, places, and things. So let's just go right here to the little dowsing tool. Where is D right now in her solar plexus? Let's just check it out. Well, it's positive. That's good. And it's between 6 and 7, which is strong. It's not all the way over to 8, which is like really totally healthy, but it's a lot better than it was. So let's go back in time. We should have done this starting out with, where did it start out at? Started out about 4.5. Yeah, so vast improvement. Yay! Yay! This is the method of my madness of using the Gateway Healing System medicine bags and the chakra stones and essences and dowsing and the dowsing chart all together along with the angel chakras to develop into a system where I can do long distance healing for people from Washington State and all over the place, and just talk to them on the phone and tell them what's going on, and it's quite fun. So, but don't forget, you don't have to have these, or you don't have to have this. All you have to do is have a dowsing tool, have the person lay down, and the dowsing tool will track the vortex of energy that's coming up from the person's body. And if it's not open, it won't track the vortex, because this is the top of a vortex where it's going around. This is the top of a vortex. And when the vortex, which is that chakra, is closed, nothing happens. It just goes like this, like this. With the solar plexus and the root and the sacral brings the energy up from the earth. The heart brings its energy from the environment, from the trees, from all of the green things, from the grass. Then the throat and the third eye, the high heart, and the crown brings the energy in from the celestials and the above beings. So what happens is that you have to reconnect after you clear the solar plexus. You have to kind of do a thing where you reconnect the chakras back together again, so the energy will continue to run and flow through the body. So that's like another step. So I think what we need to do, if you're interested in this kind of thing, is find a volunteer who would like to have a free healing, and we can film that, and I can show you actually how this goes, because it's not, it's not rocket science. It's really pretty simple. If you have the gifts and talents to do shamanic healing and energy work, then this is a natural thing. You have this information encoded in your DNA from ancestors and probably from past lives. And it's not about learning things. It's about remembering it. It's about accessing those files and then just letting go and doing it. And in that way, we can be of greater service to people. So thank you very, very much. And let me get my rattle here. So we always have to end with walk in balance.